Hello, thanks for joining me. I appreciate your being here. I hope you are well, but however you are, I hope you are supported, most importantly. As we get started today, I want you to think about the word tapas, which we talk about in yoga. It's the third niyama, and it's all about purity and cleansing. Sometimes it's referred to as heat, kind of like, purifying something in heat. And I think sometimes we have to think about our practices that way. We come to it with fervor and commitment, even when it's uncomfortable, right? So heat can be thought of in that way, uncomfortable situations that allow us to grow, that allow us to reconnect with ourselves, and disconnect with our self-doubt. So I think that's a really important thing to consider, just showing up, purifying in that process of showing up and practicing and coming back again and again, as often as needed to really connect and feel more like ourselves and appreciate that self, most importantly, for what it is and how important we each are. So go ahead and close your eyes and start to lengthen your breath. Go ahead and close your eyes and start to lengthen your breath, long inhales and exhales. All right, before we start to move, find a way to ground yourself. So maybe it's placing your hands out in front of you, maybe the hands to the heart. Just find, right now, a comfortable place to be. Good. Have 2 more breaths here. Use your next inhale to sit up nice and tall. Really lengthen your spine. And exhale, empty out completely. Good. And with an inhale, sweep the arms overhead, long reach overhead. Good. And then exhale, just bring the hands to the heart. Do that a few times. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale it back to the heart. One more time. Inhaling. And exhale. Good. And then inhale it back up through center. Exhale, forward fold into your legs. Really simple fold. Walk the hands out in front of you. Breathe into the low back, into the hips. Maybe even take a sway side to side. Good, and then inhale, walk yourself up and walk the hands behind you. Tent the fingertips behind the hips, behind the pelvis, and just squeeze the shoulder blades together and extend through the spine. Good, and then exhale, round, so drop it, and the shoulders can kind of slump toward the body a little bit. Then inhale it up, and exhale, round. Good, one more time, inhale. Exhale, round, and as you do, start to uncross the legs. We're going to turn this into Upavishtakonasana. So take the legs wide, just as wide as you can. You can lift the pelvis up for a second, maybe even prop the hips up on a blanket, whatever you need to do. Flex your feet, and then walk yourself out. And you can walk out as far as you are able, but if it's not very far today, just breathe with that and really focus more on the length in your lower back and your sacrum. Good, and then walk yourself over to the right. Good, anchor the left hip as you fold over toward that right leg. Good, and then walk it through center and over to the left. And then walk it back through center. Over to the right. This time you're going to plant the right hand and reach the left arm alongside the ear. It's really getting nice and long through that side body. If you're more comfortable leaning in the front of the leg, you just kind of do what feels right. And then exhale again, walk it through center over to the left, reaching long. Good, drop the shoulders. Good, exhale back through center, over to the right. And then we're gonna move back and forth, and you can take a slow walk through center, or maybe it's one big sweeping movement. Again, just do what feels right. You might even start to reach back behind. Good. Maybe you plant the hand behind the hips and you rise up with the pelvis. Again, all just options. Again, it might not feel comfortable, but if there's not pain, if you don't feel like you're pushing too far, you might try it, even if it's just like an inch, right? So just see where you can go with it. Good, once more to each side. And then back through center. Inhale, roll yourself up. Again, hug it in. We're gonna come into Navasana. If you've been taking class with me for a long time, you know I like to just kind of start with Navasana. And start to activate things. But again, it can be knees bent, maybe you straighten the legs, or you're somewhere in between, releasing the arms. Big breath. Good, you might even bend through the knees and start to draw them in toward the chest. Good, and then bring it back together. Inhale, and then exhale. Let's just release it. Release it, come to all fours. Good, use this time on all fours. We're gonna be shifting into down dog fairly soon, but just take a moment to move around, maybe take a few rounds of cat-cow. Just really kind of a moment of free movement. Really trying to open up through the spine. We're going to be doing some arm balancing today, and really asking the back body to activate. So let's just start right away. Good, and then inhale, bring it to a neutral spine, extend your right leg back behind you so it's floating off the mat. Good, really get long through that inner right leg, maybe lift a little bit higher. Good, maybe extend the left arm. In fact, just extend the right arm. I'm just gonna say, give it a try, unless there's some wrist issues going on. Breath in, and then exhale, pull it all into center. Elbow into the belly, knee into the nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull it in. Good, one more time, inhale, extend. Lift a little bit higher. Good, and then exhale, release. Good, second side, left leg floats. Make sure the wrists beneath the shoulders. Good, get long through that inner left thigh, and then extend the right arm long. Good, big breath. Exhale, pull it in. Good, inhale, center. Exhale, pull it in. One more time, inhale. Exhale, center, and then inhale out. Lift a little bit higher, and release. Good, breath in. Lift the heart, tuck the toes, and then scoop the belly in. So hug the front ribs into midline and just pull the knees off the mat. So you're in kind of a partial plank. Drop the shoulder blades down the back. Right, feel yourself move forward and back. Good, inhale, center, and then exhale, swoop the hips high and turn it into just an easy down dog. So keep a little softness in the knees just to start. Or maybe your whole practice has soft knees today. Really be aware of what's going on in your body. But using those soft knees to really tip the sitting bones up toward the sky, melt the front ribs into the back of the body. And then you can start to lengthen. Wrap the elbows down toward the mat. So don't think about the elbows kind of wagging out to the sides like chicken wings, for lack of a better image, but wrap the elbows down toward the mat and the eyes of the elbows forward. Try to find that. Good, and then inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Again, bend the knees deeply, look forward, and exhale, lengthen. Down dog. Do that twice more. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Try to really extend through the spine. And then exhale, lengthen. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Good, and then inhale, bring it out to a plank. Right, big breath. Really scoop the belly, drop the shoulder blades down the back. Good, breath in. Exhale, scoop the belly, lift it up and back, down dog. Twice more, inhale, roll it forward. Exhale, roll it back. One more time, inhaling forward. Exhale, back. And then inhale, lift the heels, lower the knees, drop back into child's pose. Good, child's pose. It's funny. Even the way I say it, sometimes I even fall into a comfortable cadence in my voice and saying it. Right? So, trying new things, right? Even with the sound of our voice. Right? Noticing our habits, where we want to be versus where we need to be. Inhale, looking forward between the hands. Let's come out into a cobra. So do what you need to do. Maybe it's a sphinx. It's a forearms to the mat. If you feel okay, plant the hands alongside the rib cage. Lift up through low belly. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the forehead, tuck the toes, lift your thighs. Let's inhale up to plank. Exhale, down dog. Good. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, feet to the hands, step or float or slow walk, whatever you need to do. But Uttanasana, open up the feet hip width apart definitely for now. Inhale, lengthen, come out halfway, fingertips to the ground or the shins. Get long and lift it through the belly. Exhale, forward fold. Nod the head, yes. Shake it, no. You know, you can take opposite elbows or maybe interlace your fingers behind your back. And big breath. And exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Good. Bend your knees, let's roll it up really slowly. Good. Walk the hands up the front of the chest until they meet at the heart. You can just rest one hand on top of the other. Take a moment to actually feel your Tadasana, your mountain today. Feel a little more stability in your legs, in your own feet. Good. Release your arms to your sides. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold into your legs. Lengthen your spine, big breath in. And exhale, step it back to plank. Good. Have an inhale here. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin, or in one piece. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, bring it back, downward facing dog. Have 3 breaths here. Inhaling fully. And exhale completely. Good. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. And once more. Inhaling. And exhale. Good. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, feet to the hands, stepping, walking, or hopping. Good. Bring it out halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, folding. All the way up to stand, breath in. Exhale, hands to the heart. Again, inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen your spine, breath in. Exhale, stepping or floating back. Use that exhale to lower all the way or halfway, or stick with knees, chest, and chin, whatever you want. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale right here, actually. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, start with the belly. Scoop it up and back, down dog. Inhaling, right leg into the sky. Starting with square hips just for a moment. Really get long to the inner right leg, and then go ahead and stack the hips open. Good. Then inhale, right leg long. Exhale, forward, knee to nose. Round the spine, drop the head. Inhaling, 3-legged. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. So you're going to twist right away. Inhaling up and back. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Breathe right here. Inhale to lift higher. Exhale, step that foot to the outside of the hand. So you're in lizard. The right toes can turn out a little bit. Take a breath in to allow the hips to get a little bit heavier. The belly lifts even more. Good. Plant your left hand to the ground or a block. Right arm reaches high. Good. Take a breath in. Exhale, circle the right arm back behind you. And then you're going to inhale, sweep it back up. Exhale, circle it back and down. One more time, inhaling. Exhale, release. This time, hand down to the inside of the right foot. Good. Inhale, pick up that right foot. So you're hugging the knee to the elbow again, and then step the foot in between the hands. If you didn't quite make it, just keep stepping it forward. All right, so you're in a simple lunge here. Now let's float it up to crescent. Good. Maybe softening to the left knee if you need that. Big, big breath. Good. Inhaling. Exhale again. Release the hands. Turn it into pyramid. So start to lengthen through your right leg as much as you can. Maybe flexing your right foot if you have lots of space. Both hip points pointing in the same direction. Really steer yourself where you need to be. Good. And you're going to inhale again. Bend your right knee. So you're lunging. Right arm reaches forward. This time, as you exhale, start to lengthen through your right leg, twisting so that right arm is going to pull down, back, and then up to the sky. You might not straighten the right leg completely, but maybe you can. Be kind with your joints. Inhale, bend the right knee, reach forward. And again, you're going to exhale, sweep it down, back and up. One more time, inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale it forward, come all the way up to crescent. Exhale, release it down to the mat. Step back to plank. Vinyasa of your choice or down dog, whenever you need to leave it out. Good. Next inhale, left leg floats. Hips are square to start. And then stack it open, bend the knee. Good. Extend your left leg long. Exhale, forward, knee to nose. Round the spine, drop the head. Find the belly. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhaling up and back. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Hold when you arrive. Inhale to lift higher. Scoop the belly. Exhale, foot to the outside of the left hand. So you're in lizard, second side. Again, the left toes can turn out a bit. You don't want to overdo it though. So find some place kind of down, right down in the middle. Good. Right hand lowers, fingertips or palm. Left arm reaches into a twist. So remember, this twist isn't about your low back. Think about the sides of your waist getting longer as you inhale. Exhale, navel back, and the ribs open up. Breath in. Exhale, circle it down, or back and down rather. Inhale it up, back and down. One more time, inhale. And exhale, release. So now you know it's coming. You're going to inhale, scoop the belly, pick up that foot, and step it in between. If you can only step this far, that's okay. Just keep wiggling it forward. And then take a moment, get long. And inhale up to crescent. Good. Maybe soften through the right knee. Again, just get comfortable. Rather not comfortable, but get into your breath here, even if it is not comfortable. Right? Try not to look around the room and figure out what you're going to fix, because you're in your own space. That can be tricky. Good. Breath in. Exhale. Release it. Let's come into pyramid. So lengthen your left leg. Good. Pull that left hip back so that both hip points are moving in the same direction. Maybe flex your left foot. Good, and then you inhale, bend your left knee, left arm reaches forward. Exhale, lengthen left leg, circle that left arm down, back, and up just as far as you can. You can always have a block underneath your right hand if you do have blocks available, or books. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, circle it down and back. Good. One more time, inhale. Exhale, down and back. Inhale, bend that left knee, float it up to crescent. And exhale, release. Step back to plank, your choice. Inhale up, exhale back, down dog. And again, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step the foot right to the outside of the right hand. Take a breath and lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale to get longer, exhale, circle it back and down. Inhale it up. Exhale, lower that right hand. You're gonna pick up the right foot, inhale, and then step it in between the hands. Exhale, inhaling crescent. Good, exhale, release the hands. Good, inhale, lengthen, exhale, start to lengthen the right leg, reach up and back. Back and up, really, and then inhale, let's come back up to crescent. Exhale, release it down to the mat. Stepping back, your choice. And again, inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step the foot to the outside of the hand. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Good, inhale. Exhale, circle it back and down. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. So again, scoop the belly. Get ready, pick that foot up. Step it in between, as many steps as it takes. Inhaling, crescent. Exhale, lower the hands. Breath in to lengthen. Exhale, lengthen your left leg and twist. Inhaling up to crescent. And exhale, let it go. Stepping back and through. Good, one more time. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step that foot to the outside of the hand. Breath in to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Good, inhale, exhale, circle it back and down. Inhale, reach higher. Exhale, lower. Good, pick yourself up. Good, maybe you even take a moment. Maybe balance if you want. Good, and then step it in between the hands. Good, inhale up to crescent. This time we're gonna come into standing splits. So walk the hands out in front of you. Left leg floats. Good, bring your right thumb to right hip crease. Press that hip and thigh back in space. Good, have a breath. Good, exhale, bend through the right knee. Let's step back and set up warrior one. So spin your left heel down. Inhale, float the arms high. Good. Press into the outer edge of your left foot a lot. Try to soften that left hip forward as much as you can. Big breath in, exhaling, warrior two. Good, gaze out over the right fingertips. Feel that right thigh bone really drawing back into the hip. So you don't want to pull away from yourself. Come back into yourself and then dig deeper into the legs. Reverse triangle. So you're going to inhale, lengthen your right leg, reach that right arm back, left hand to the thigh, maybe down to the calf if you can reach. Big breath in. Exhale, Trikonasana, reaching forward and down. Anchor that left foot. Reach it out. Direct your tailbone toward the left heel. Feel that connection to the ground, but also the connection to the sky. Good. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Have a big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Let's step back. Right foot meets the left, and we're going to turn it into side plank. So left hand, outer edge of left foot, reaching up and back. Good. Maybe the right leg floats. And exhale, release it. You're back in plank, vinyasa, or you can rest in child's pose or down dog, wherever you're being called. Good. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, foot to the outside of hands. And breath in to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Inhale, exhale, circle it back and down. Inhale it up. Exhale, lower that left hand. Pick up the left foot, step it in between the hands. Come on up to crescent. And again, standing split. So walk the hands out to the ground or to blocks. Lower that right hip down in line with the left. So sometimes we tend to open the hip because we feel like we're lifting it higher that way. But really try to get in to the shape. So lower the hip and then find that more difficult place to move from, which is that inner right thigh. Accessing those muscles it's a little more difficult. All right, but beneficial. Inhale. Exhale, let's bring it back into warrior one. So stepping back, spin that right heel down. Inhale, both arms high. Good. Press into the outer edge of your right foot. Good. Breath in. Exhaling, warrior two. And again, plug left thigh bone back into the hip, which might send your right hip slightly forward, and that's okay. And then think about pulling the mat apart with your feet. Good. Inhale, lengthen your left leg, reverse triangle, right hand to the thigh or the calf, reaching up and back. Good. Inhaling. Exhaling, Trikonasana, press into the outer edge of your right foot. Reach, reach, reach. Left hand to the shin, the ankle, or the ground. But what you want to find is really long side body. So if you're touching the ground, but you're kind of hunched over, try walking that hand up higher. Create a little more space. And so sometimes the tapas, right, that purifying is not just getting deeper into a physical pose, but maybe backing off and letting our ego kind of deal with that, right? Because sometimes our ego is stronger than the body, or at least tries to pull the body in directions it doesn't need to go in. All right, inhale, peaceful warrior. Bend your left knee, reaching up and back. And cartwheel your hands down to the mat, turning it into side plank. So plant the right hand, step the left foot back to meet the right. If you need extra support, bring the right knee down to the ground. Either way, make sure the right wrist is beneath the shoulder, so really line it up. Right, direct your tailbone down toward the heels. Maybe left leg floats off. Squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale. And exhale, release back to plank. Or you can take it through a vinyasa or rest back down dog. Good. Have a breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, feet to the hands, stepping or floating. Good. Lengthen your spine. Exhaling, folding. All the way up to stand. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Next, inhale, Utkatasana. Bend at the knees. Sweep the arms high. Good. Get heavy through the hips, lift it through the heart. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhaling. And 1 more inhale. Exhale, lay the chest on the thigh. Take your time and forward fold. Lengthen your spine, big breath in. Exhaling back, you can step or float back. So vinyasa or down dog. Find what works. Good. Inhaling and exhale. Good. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Bring it up to warrior one. Inhale. Exhaling, warrior two. Good. Inhale, reverse triangle. So moving with the breath, exhaling into Trikonasana. Good. Peaceful warrior, breath in. Good, and then exhale, side angle, right elbow to right thigh. Maybe hand down to the ground or a block. Turn the left palm down, reach that hand to the front of the room, right alongside the ear. Breath in. Exhale, one more inhale. Exhale, bring it up and back, peaceful warrior. Good, into Ardha Chandrasana, walk that right hand to right corner of your mat or block, left leg floats. And again, it might be a few walks in before you float. Good, press the right hip and thigh back in space. Maybe finding Chapasana. Good. Maybe trusting as you press back into that right thigh, right, stand on that right leg, maybe the right hand pulls into the heart. Good, release it all. Good, float back, warrior two. Good. Lengthen your right leg, pivot on the right heel. Feet are parallel. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhaling, prostrate to Patatanasana, forward fold. And this shape never gets old. Good, reach up through the sitting bones as you press down through the feet. Good, and then walk the hands out for a moment. So you're going to crawl up to the pads of the fingers, lift the chest. You're not in a full flat back, but you're extending to the spine. So just feel the extension of the legs and the spine at the same time. Sometimes when we extend the legs this wide, it wants to pull us into a rounded spine. Try to resist that. Good, and then walk the hands in a bit. You're going to spin out the right toes, so about as much as you would for lizard. And then bend to the right knee. So you'll know where your knees are going to take you. Right? Maybe so far that you pop up on that left heel. And maybe the arms open wide. Up to you. Right, and then we're going to come back over to the other side. So you might have to lift a little bit higher. And then again, turn the left toes out. Pop up on the right heel if you have that kind of space. Good. Maybe open the arms wide. Good. Release it. Let's come once more to each side. You're going to switch over to the right. Maybe stay really low. Good, and then switch over to the left. Good, and then find yourself in center. Turn the toes in again. Inhale, come on up. Exhaling back to warrior two. Good, peaceful. And then send it down to the mat. Step back to plank, vinyasa, or down dog. Second side, left leg floats. Exhale, bring it forward, warrior one. Inhaling. Exhaling, warrior two. Reverse triangle. Exhaling, Trikonasana. Start to move a little more quickly, but like yourself. Good. Inhaling, peaceful. Good. And exhale into side angle. So either bring the left elbow to the thigh or hand down to the ground or a block. Roll the left sitting bone underneath you so you feel like you're really connected to the feet and the pelvis is in place. And then you can turn the right palm down, reach that hand to the front of the room. Good. Root into the outer edge of your right foot. And with an inhale, scoot the tail. Inhale all the way up and back, peaceful warrior. Ardha Chandrasana, left hand reaches. So, and maybe try it this time. Maybe it's one big step if you don't usually try it. You can even try it a couple of times, bouncing off that back leg. And tapas is also trusting. Trust can be hard to come by. Sometimes mostly with ourselves. For better or worse. Maybe Chapasana, so I already went there, but if you want to take that right foot, maybe you bring the left hand to the heart again. And trust, release, float back, warrior two. Good. Lengthen your left leg, pivot on your left heel. Good. Inhaling, arms high. And again, exhale, forward fold. And so if there is a tripod headstand in your practice, you might take it. If not, don't worry about it. But if you want to start to think about it, walk the hands back. And again, you're creating 3 points, the crown of the head to the ground, 2 hands are your other 2 points. Some of you can float right up. Maybe you're picking up the feet and just placing the knees, I shouldn't say just, but you're placing the knees to the backs of the arms, which can be a lot. Wherever you are, you can start to make your way down. Weight into the hands, lengthen. So again, walk your hands out, reach the heart forward, legs are long. Good, and then bend into the left leg for a moment. Popping up on that right heel, maybe open the arms wide. And then we're gonna move right over to the other side. And then bring it back to center. So bend the knees, lengthen, come all the way up. Warrior 2, left side, peaceful. And then send it down to the ground. Stepping back to plank. Up to you. Exhale back. And inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, you're gonna bring the feet to the outside of the hands. You're gonna step, or you can hop the feet to the outside. Right, and then we're gonna drop down into Malasana, or squat. If this feels like way too much on your knees or lower back, you can sit on a block or 2, or a blanket. You might also just place a blanket underneath your heels if you find you can't get your heels down to the ground. Good, inhale. We're gonna press down to the feet, come all the way up. Exhale, back into Malasana. Inhaling up. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Good, and again, you can stay here or looking at crow, Bakasana. So plant the hands, shoulder width apart, pop the heels up. Look forward. Right. Kind of set your sights out there. Hug the knees to the outer arm or the backs of the arms. Squeeze the arms with the knees. And then maybe pull a foot or 2 off. Keep reaching the heart forward. Good, and then release it any way you want. Maybe take a child's pose or a cat-cow. Maybe shooting right back to down dog. Good, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step the foot forward in between the hands, warrior 2. Peaceful inhale. Exhaling, side angle. Good. Inwardly rotate the right hand. Good. If you want to take half bind, if not, of course you don't have to. Maybe the right arm reaches underneath for fingertips or wrist. Good. Breathing. Release the bind if you have it. Release the hands down to the ground. Good. Step back into 3-legged dog. So inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Come on up to crescent. Big breath in. Good. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to twist this time. So hook the left elbow to the outside of right thigh. Good. Maybe the arms open wide. Good. Release the twist. Release the twist. Good. Stepping into side plank. So left hand outer edge of left foot. Good. Again, release it back to plank. Pull the right knee into the nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. All right, and then you can take it through a vinyasa. Maybe keep that right leg extended and dive in. Inhaling. Exhale back. Second side, left leg. Exhale, bring it forward. Warrior two. Peaceful. Into side angle, elbow to thigh, or fingertips to the ground. If there's a bind, inwardly rotate. Right hand to lower back or hip crease. Left hand maybe comes underneath for fingertips or wrists. If you have that full bind, draw the hands down underneath the left sitting bone to give yourself a little more space. Good, release, release. Find a lunge, pop it up, three-legged dog. Just find a little space and freedom. Step the foot back in between the hands. One more time, up to crescent. Good. And then bring your hands to your heart. Big breath in to get long. Exhale, twisting. Right elbow to outside of left thigh. Good. You might open the arms wide. Maybe you need to bring the right knee down to the ground for added support. Good. Release. Release. And then step it back into side plank. So left foot meets the right, balancing on that right hand. Good. Maybe floating with that left leg. Breath in. Exhale. Let it go. Good. Pull the left knee into the nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Look forward and you might dive in that way. Kind of beginnings of a spirit dive. Good. Breath in. And exhale. Inhale. Lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, feet to the hands. Stepping or floating. Lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. And take a moment. You can open up your feet hip width apart. If you want to take yogi toe lock, first two fingers and thumb around the big toes. Good. Bend your knees, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, empty out. You're really thinking about the length and the spine. So even if you need to inhale one more time and send the chest forward, glide back in. Right, so if you already have yogi toe lock, you can keep holding onto the right big toe. If you don't, go ahead and bend your knees, everyone, whatever you're doing. Yogi toe lock on the right big toe. So first two fingers and thumb. Left hand to left hip. Let's roll ourselves up to stand. Good. Take a moment and really send the chest forwards. Take a chance on that. Don't shy away from it. Stand up tall. Even if that means you don't extend your right leg. If there's any more space, the Tita Hasta, Padangusthasana A. Maybe that arm extends. Good, and then wherever you are, you're going to release the foot, extend your right leg. If it's already extended, you're there. Breath in, and then exhale, let it go. Shake it out. Good, big breath in, bend your knees, inhale, arms high, and exhale, fold. Coming right over to the second side, it's a yogi toe lock on the left side. First two fingers and thumb on the big toe, right hand to right hip. Bend the knees to roll yourself up. Right, so creating tapas doesn't mean being rigid necessarily. In fact, sometimes it makes us less rigid for good reason. Lengthen, maybe extend, but think about the heart lifting first. Maybe right arm extends. breath in and release. Have another inhale, exhale, let it go. Shake it out. Good. Breath in. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Good. And then inhale again, bend the knees to roll up. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. I almost fell right back on my tail. And again, you're gonna heel toe the feet even wider. Take a moment, lengthen, bend your knees. That's your, in sort of an Utkatasana. Right? Maybe walk your hands back through the legs. And maybe you can inwardly rotate the hands and tuck the hands into the hip creases, right? It's by reaching back and around. Good. Release. Lengthen and fold. Good. Bend your knees. All right, come all the way down to your seat. Again, you're going to come into Upavishya Konasana. All right, so take the legs wide. See if you have more space. Good, and walk it out. Walk yourself up. All right, again, let's come into Navasana. Find a moment to float. Breath in. Exhale, one more breath. And release, come to all fours. Any way you want to get there. So if you can't roll over your shins or it doesn't feel right, sweep the legs back behind you. Good. Just take a moment. A few rounds of cat-cow. Good. And then we're going to walk it back onto our feet. So feet nice and wide. I'm going to put all of those things together. So we've been doing arm balances. We've been extending through the hamstrings. Maybe looking at Firefly Pose. So you're going to bend the knees, walk the hands back behind you. And that might be plenty. So really my fingertips are kind of lined up with my heels. If you can plant the wrists, plant them. Right, bend the elbows straight back so you've created a shelf for the arms. And maybe you sit back on that shelf you've created. Right? And you can start by perhaps crossing the ankles and floating the feet off. If you feel pretty good, maybe extend the legs. But again, activate the back body. Reach the heart forward, tail back, feet out, feet flare. And release. Right, if that all felt like too much, but you want to get the feeling out of Firefly Pose, you can draw the heels together. Looking at Navasana again, though, you're going to take Yogi Toe Lock. Again, maybe just start here with the feet on the ground. Right? But if you can pull the feet off, maybe you extend. Kind of a close cousin of Firefly Pose. Definitely connected. And release. Good. And let it go. Shake it out. Take a moment, place the hands to the shins. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, round it back. Have a moment to really exhale. plant the feet hip-width apart, arms at your sides. Bring it into a bridge. Make sure your feet are parallel, toes pointing straight up to that top edge of your mat. Inhale, float the hips high. And melt the inner thighs toward one another, so feel the outer hips hugging into midline. Maybe interlace your fingers behind your back. And then exhale, release. Good, shake it out. Let the knees sway. And then we'll take another back bend. So you can take bridge, what you just did. If you feel ready for full wheel, hands can come alongside the ears. Again, make sure the feet are parallel. Have a big exhale. Good, and then maybe inhale up to the crown of your head first, which is a nice place to be. Hug the elbows up toward the ceiling, and then send it all the way up. And breath in. And exhale, slowly release. And again, give the knees a sway. Good, hug the knees into the chest. Good, circle them one way and then the other. Good, and let it settle at center. Good, let the knees, go ahead and place the hands to the tops of the knees and then let the knees open out. And then circle back in. And just letting the thigh bones move in the hip sockets without trying to make anything happen, right, which can be hard work if we're used to trying to assume a goal. Really, this is just about being in your skin. Good, and you can open the arms wide, stack the knees over to the left, and gaze towards your right hand. Good. Find your exhales. Inhale, roll onto your back. Have a moment to just be, and then with your next exhale, send the knees to the right, gazing toward that left hand. Every breath just showing up again and again. Good. Inhale back to center. Good. Hug it in. Good. Extend the legs long up toward the ceiling, up toward the sky. Just let them bend, break at the knees, and then release the feet. Good, roll over to one side, come on up to your seat. That's going to get into the hips. Right, double pigeon. I'll give you a couple of options. So one, if it's difficult to sit tall, prop your hips up on a blanket right away, first off. From here, thinking about fire log pose or ankle to knee. So you can either stack the right leg on top of the left. Again, if that feels like too much, stack the right leg in front of the left, which you'll still get a great hip opener, but it might just be a little easier on your knees and your hips. So just consider where you need to be today. Flex your feet, whatever you're doing, trying to release both hips evenly into the ground, or as evenly as you can. Again, first just sitting tall, and if there's more space, forward folding. Good, and then inhale, roll yourself up. Good, and exhale, shake it out. Out, and then we'll take the second side, so left leg on top or in front. Flex the feet. Sometimes I even like to lift my pelvis up and replant my hips a little more evenly. It's a different side, it's a different story. So try to be okay with that. Good, sit up nice and tall to start. And then maybe you forward fold. One more breath. Be with it. Good. Inhale, roll it up. And release it, shake it out. Let's come back into Upavishkanasana one more time. As you can take the legs wide. Right, fold it out. You might turn this into Karmasana, so if this is great for you, be here. If you want to try another variation of the pose, you're actually going to bring the legs in a little bit closer. Right? Bend the knees. So again, you want to think about that activation, lengthening through the spine. Inwardly rotate the hand so the top of the hand is going to reach back as you're reaching under the legs. And that might be enough, just popping up on the heels and lengthening, but if there's space, you can start to extend the legs and find a relatively comfortable place for the head. Just take a moment to retreat. And if you made your way in, you can start to make your way out. So bend the knees, gently slip the arms out, and then use a hand for support. Really take your time. If you were in Upavishta, just take a moment to roll up. And again, we're going to sweep the arms high and tip it over to the right. Flex the feet. You might be able to take a hold of that foot this time. Open up the left ribs. Good, and then inhale it up. And exhale over to the second side. Good, maybe take a hold of the foot. And inhale. I'm going to extend the legs long out in front of you. And let's release down. Take the feet wide, or feet together rather, knees wide. Or Supta Patatanasana. See where the hands want to be. And allow yourself to settle. This is part of the work as well, just being really accepting of where we are in this moment. Not that we don't want to create change, but also being able to sit with who we are, not who we're going to be, or who we were. And then whenever you're ready, you can allow this to morph into Shavasana, so extending the legs long, unless you want to stay in Supta Patatanasana for a really long time, which is nice. Start to sip in a deeper breath. Arriving back into the body. All right, but it's not a disturbance, it's just an arrival. Move the way you want to move. Eventually rolling over to one side. And in your time, coming up to your own seat. Good. And now that you're in your seat, you're probably in a new place of comfort, right? But sometimes, a lot of the time, it takes moving through, right, places of discomfort, of challenge, of the unknown, right? That's required to bring us to a better space. So embrace that, keep showing up, acknowledge that you can create a lot of change just by showing up, right? Just by being in your own body. So much is contained here. And bring the hands together at the heart. And honoring ourselves, each other. Thank you.